So this is the end of today's class and we are almost on time. I will just take a few minutes to go through the action from this class. Number one, don't ask about things that if told will distress you. So basically, don't try to find out things, and there are certain things that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has hidden from us, and it is for our beneficial benefits. Because if we were to find it out, then probably you will continue to think about it, and it will be stressful for us. And don't ask unnecessary questions that make things difficult. I mean, there is a way, the right way that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has already told us. Don't continue to ask questions, unnecessary questions that do not help you in any way, but just for the questions for the sake of question. And by the way, once you find the truth, then you need to follow it. This is linked from the first one. So let's say you are asking questions about the religion, and obviously asking questions from what we are learning, what is revealed in the Holy Quran. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said that is obviously allowed for you to build your understanding. And once you know the truth, then you should follow it. There are lots of practices that are happening even in today in Muslim households that are wrongful. And at that point in time, people used to say, and it was narrated in the ayah that we read, that they say that because we have been seeing our followers, our forefathers and our fathers following these false deities and doing this shirk, and this is a form of religion for us, so we'll continue to follow them. We do not believe in one Allah, and we do not believe in the guidance that you're bringing us. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said that they are wrong. Even their forefathers were misguided, and which is why the action that we took for ourselves is whenever we find truth, even today, if there are practices and they may not be directly polytheism or shirk or the practices that the disbelievers do, but maybe there are some practices that have been borrowed over a period of time from other religions and have become part of the Muslim culture. We should try to stay away from them, and don't think. Once you know the truth from the Holy Quran or the Hadith or the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then you have to stick by it. That is the right way. You cannot then deviate and say, yes, but this is okay, but even because my father or my parents or my relatives or I have a lot of pressure, so I need to do this and that. No, we are not allowed to do that. We have been asked to guard ourselves. So guard yourselves, do righteous deeds, and fear Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Guarding ourselves means that we are always cautious, that we are doing the right things, we are doing the righteous deeds to please Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and then we are fearful of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, so that we do not offend Him and we don't do any wrong thing or anything that is unlawful or haram that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala doesn't want us to do. And then linked to it is, once you are guided by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, then you will never be harmed by those who have gone astray. So someone who you may think, they are so powerful and they have control or whatever. If we do not follow them, then they will harm them. If we are not part of their party, or if we are not within that group, then they will harm us. Even in some education institutes, in universities or in colleges or in schools, there are boys, or there are seen as a group of even girls, even that they're the cool ones, or they're the powerful ones, or they're the ones, if you're not part of them, will be seen as losers and all of this. Guys, once you have been guided, you do not need to fear anyone other than Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. You just need to hold your ground on the truth. This is your test. This is the ultimate test that has been given to us. So once guided, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is reassuring us we will not be harmed by those who are misguided or those who have gone straight. So we don't even need to consider them when because we are accountable for our own actions. And the last action for today, make will when you approach death before two witnesses. And obviously, because death is also we do. Sometimes it can come unannounced as well, and sometimes you not be getting that. So we should already plan to have our will for any wealth or anything that we have. We have been asked to write a will before two witnesses, so there should be two witnesses, and they should also be just. They should have the right intention. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said that witnesses should also make the right testimony and continue to fear Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. And there was a whole way of how the witnesses should be from the outside of the family or the outside of the relatives, and then what is the role of people who are within the family. If they believe that those people who came from outside and who were the witnesses, let's say while the person was traveling and he approached death and he told them something, if people do not believe them, then there is a way as well that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala defined for us. But the important thing to understand is that we have to write our will in front of two witnesses before we die. The earlier we do it, the better, so that our wealth gets appropriated in that. So these are the actions. Are there any questions, anything before I close today's class?